Hey everyone, we have a huge episode today, so stick around and we'll kick it off in a second. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Andrew, and along with my wife Jessica, we are full-time online resellers. And that means that we go to places like thrift stores and garage sales and estate sales, and we find undervalued items or items for cheap, and then we flip them online on places like Poshmark, Mercari, and most importantly, eBay. We're going to split today's video up into 4 parts. The first is going to be our garage sale hauls. This will be a compilation of segments, just illustrating all the different stuff that we've picked up over the last few weeks. We'll also do like we normally do and go through our what solds. We're going to talk about a major achievement for this channel, and I'm going to talk to you about a major fail that I had as well. So without further ado, let's jump into some garage sale hauls. Hey everyone, just wanted to show you a quick garage sale haul that we did this weekend. Even though it's kind of getting late in the year and garage sales seem to be a little bit few and far between, we did end up picking these things up today. We spent $30 approximately for everything that's on the table. The stuff over here was from an estate sale, and this was from a garage sale over here. Did go to a lot more, but ended up only picking up this stuff. So let's jump in here really quick. So we'll start off with this vintage Barney plush. He's kind of cool. I think Barney stuff can do pretty well, surprisingly, for as annoying as he was. He has tended to found some sort of cult classic status following, I guess. So we'll have to look him up and see how well he'll do. Picked up these plush Paddington bears. These are Craftsman branded, kind of a tie-in there. And this cool Paddington bear who is in what appears to be a tuxedo. So he's kind of neat. And picked up a couple of hats too. This one has tags on it, so I think it's new, but it has like, what does it say? Like fish camouflage. It's called Fishflage, which I've never heard of before. Don't know if that's worth anything. Got this cool Scooby-Doo youth hat. It has kind of a cool underside of the bill there. And this one was interesting as well. The last 2 rope type hats that I got actually did really well. Those were those red Colorado hats. This one had an interesting symbol on it. It almost looks like a referee uniform. And this one is actually made in USA, here in Denver. So don't know. I'll have to do some research, see if I can use Google Lens or something to look that up. So we'll see how well that stuff does. At that same estate sale, I came across this Sensi Go, I think it is. I opened up the box. It does appear to be complete. It's a USB powered, obviously, scent diffuser. And instead of the wax cubes, it takes like these little wax pods or scent pods, that's what they're called. They're kind of like, they're made of plastic and they have some sort of scent inside them. And there's a fan that diffuses the scent rather than melting wax. So I thought that was kind of a cool thing. Had to look that up briefly at the sale because I had never seen this before. And the last thing that I picked up at the sale, that same estate sale, was this lot of spring-loaded Pokemon balls. There was one sold listing that I saw on eBay. Didn't go for a ton, but I didn't see a whole lot listed either. And there's a number of different designs and colorways here. So I thought, hey, for a Pokemon enthusiast, somebody might like to have those. So that was the bulk of the purchases today from that one sale. And at a garage sale, I picked up these clothing pieces. I picked up 3 men's Cinch branded shirts. This brand of pants has always done really well for us. So whenever we get a Cinch pair of jeans, they always sell pretty quickly. So I got this kind of cool paisley theme shirt. This is kind of a purple geometric pattern shirt, also Cinch branded. And another kind of weird pattern, geometric, almost like a floral shape, but also, again, Cinch branded. And then the last item for today was this cut from the cloth, women's jeans. I think these are some bootcut style jeans. So again, altogether about $30 from everything here. Not a whole lot of sourcing being done lately. We're hoping to go out a little bit more here in the future. Obviously, we're going to need some items to tide us over into the Q4, especially. Now that that's here, we've got to definitely ramp up our listing and keep that train going. So talk to you soon. Hey guys, it's another haul video. It's a number of days after the last clip that you just saw. So we're going to show you this in 2 parts. This is the first section here. I have the other stuff in the other room. But all spent with everything that you'll see here, I think it was just under $150. So it was a little bit pricey, but that's okay. Actually, no, that's not true. It was I was just seeing this stuff here, which we got at a thrift store, so that was an extra 50. So I think 200 for everything. So let's go ahead and jump in, and we'll show you some the good finds that we found. So starting on this side, we have some individual Goosebumps episodes on DVD. We paid, I think, $7.50. Actually, no, it was $6.50 for the lot of 4. I think she gave me back an extra $1 at the sale. So those are kind of cool. There was a place doing a fill a bag sale. And so if you see all of these party supplies, so we got some Disney Vampirina stuff. I think there's some Hello Kitty. We have some Descendants over here, mostly Vampirina stuff. There's one lone Frozen 2 thing. But all of these things here, $5, fill a bag. And I was able to get all of that in a single bag. So $5 for everything. And what's cool is that a lot of these are very similar lots. These are all identical things. So that means multi-quantity listing, which is fun. So we'll probably take each of the Vampirina things and make a lot out of that, and then everything else will be the multi-quantity. But I thought that was kind of cool. Moving on, we have this garden flag. It's upside down Tweety, obviously not upside down, but Tweety on an Easter egg. So shout out Commonwealth Picker for the garden flag ideas. Some clothes that we found at our thrift store. My oldest daughter works at a thrift store now, which is one of her dream jobs. So she gets to let us know when all the cool finds come in. I won't go through all the clothes, but we got some hats as well. Paid about $50 for that stuff. You know, paid up a little bit because it was thrift store prices. This stack of books here, all of these, mostly what I call the flats or the early reader books. Berenstain Bears, let's see here, Thomas the Train, and I think there was one other one. Oh yeah, the Mercer Mare Little Critter. All of this whole stack of books, plus these 2 Choose Your Own Adventure, $3 at a garage sale. At an estate sale, we found these 2 vintage, what are they called? Oh yes, Dressy Bessie dolls. The condition is okay. There's no rips or tears, but some of the skin is, has some orange to it, and there's some yellowing on this one, so we'll probably lot these up. But these were from 1970, so definitely vintage. At that same estate sale, we did find a number of cool hats. I actually listed a few of them already, so they're not all here. There's an Air Force One down there. There's a Krispy Kreme donut hat. There's a USS Midway. And I think we paid, well, I don't remember exactly how much we paid at that sale. Maybe it was $22 for the dolls and the hats. And then I went back to that sale today, and that's when I'm filming that video, and I got some more stuff, which I'll show you here shortly. So that is the end of part 1. And so, like I said, a lot of listing coming up, and I'll reset everything, or actually I'll take the camera into the next room, and we'll have everything over there. All right, so here is part 2. So different lighting conditions. I apologize if the picture looks horrible, but this is the balance of what I picked up today. And so let me just jump in over here. On this side, got a pair of 2 Ariat Fat Baby boots. I paid $15 a piece, and I think we've sold a couple of pair of these in the past, and these have done pretty well. So I expect to get, I think, about $50 or so for these. Don't know what these would bring in just yet. But at that same sale, found a new belt buckle here. It was Mark II. I figured I'd give it a shot. At another sale, found some vintage Teletubby plush. There are 3 of this kind here with something that used to go into the back. Nothing is in the back of any of these, but I have the blue one, the red one, and the green one back there. And then this over here, these are the kind of ones that open up and they have extra toys in the back. So I don't know. I have not sold any Teletubby stuff before, but we'll see how those do. At that same sale, bought this set of tarot cards, which I think that kind of occult and stuff, they do pretty well. These I'm going to save for last because they're the coolest. We bought a bunch of books as well. So this Maxwell Bible Story series is pretty cool. We've sold these before. This is the full set of 10. I think this is the 50s version. I didn't see a later copyright date on the inside. The last set that we sold were from the 70s. I think this is the 50s version, which is sweet. A lot of adult Western series, so Long Arm, The Gunsmith, The Trailsman. I did pick up one Louis L'Amour by mistake. They had a bunch of Louis L'Amour books, and we have sold him in the past. The problem, though, is that those were not the greatest quality, and so I just didn't want to bring those back and deal with all the crinkly pages and whatnot. These are a little bit newer, and so they have a little bit better quality. In addition to all the other books, we have some Karen Kingsbury and some other hardcover books in here, some Care Bears, some Value Tales, and then another kind of Americana series from the 70s, I believe. But the coolest thing is this right here. 4 cases of cassette tapes, and some of the titles are just awesome. So let's see if I can pull out some here. This is not one of the good drawers. Sorry about that. Aha, Van Halen, there we go. We got some Van Halen, we have Toto, ZZ Top in the back there. That's some country one in there. Another country one, Kenny Rogers. We have some Prince, David Lee Roth, Scorpions. How cool is that? REO Speedwagon. These are upside down, but Journey, Billy Joel, Michael Jackson back in there. Eddie Money, Motley Crue. Yeah, just some really good titles in here. I'm super psyched. The Cars, Chicago, Phil Collins, awesome stuff. Ghostbusters, Foreigner, Footloose, Sammy Hagar, the Go-Go's. So I have been watching Commonwealth Pickers sell cassettes, and when I ran across these, I could not resist. So hopefully you enjoyed that haul, and watch for some of this stuff on some upcoming What Sold videos. See you guys. Okay, it's me again. I forgot 3 things, which are these Squishmallows right here. Obviously, they are the Halloween-themed ones. We have this tombstone person here, Elva. And we have this one, which is Styx, aptly named. And then this last one here, another tombstone kind of guy. That's Felice. And so I don't remember what we paid. These were from TJ Maxx. They had a bunch of Halloween-themed. What's that?
I think they're 11 something.
Yeah, I think all told with tax, because we had to pay tax on this purchase, I think we got them for an average of $12.98 or $12.98 each. So they were going for much more online, so that's, retail arbitrage. So anyway, just wanted to cut in and show you that really quick. Hey guys, this is the last installment of the haul segments here, and let's start from left to right. We paid $128 for everything here, and we'll show you what we picked up. All right, so in this tote, I will admit I have a problem. This is another bin of bulk Legos. Now, I did get these as well, and the reason why I got these, to be honest, is because I did see some minifigure pieces in here. They are Lego friends, so they're probably not super valuable, but with everything, it'll give me a ton of work to do. Still have to do the other 3 unsorted bins yet, so lots of work ahead, but paid $10 for that. At another sale, paid $1 for that Titleist hat. Let's see here, moving on. This was at one estate sale. We got a vintage Stratego game, which we have sold in the past. This did look to be complete. Found some other cassettes that I got to add to my other cassette collection. Just 2 there. And some old, cool, vintage hats. Seem to have been selling more hats lately. One looks really dirty. And I think it's because one of these is disintegrating. I think it's the foam in this one. Nasty. So we'll have to take care of that, of course. And let's see here, moving on over here, all of this stuff here was at one estate sale. It was an estate sale that we had gone to before. This was our, I think, 3rd visit. This was my 3rd visit. It was Jess's 2nd. And this was the last day. So it was 75% off everything. Got a bunch of other hats, some collegiate hats. These are all pre-owned. There's a big Chilton manual down there. It's an older one. These are collegiate sweatshirts. I believe that either the lady or somebody in that family was some sort of Under Armour or collegiate rep. And so these are pretty much all either new old stock or new with tags, collegiate sweatshirts. They had some salt and pepper shakers, an ornament here. Back down here was a JanSport backpack, which looked really nice.
Some of these are JanSport too.
Oh yeah, these are all JanSport branded, or this is a Champion actually, but most of these are JanSports. And if anyone needs an LSU hat, come and hit me up. I got a ton of them. All of these are all new with tag hats. All of these dark blue ones are all the same style here. They're a little bit dirty, so we'll have to make sure that they're all clean before we sell them. But that LSU there, and then we have a few of these sort of brown and purple ones. But these were only $1.25 a piece after the 75% off deal. So at one of the other sales that we went to, we got 2 bags of plush, and I'm going to let Jess explain those. So what did we pick up? Just put everything on the table here, that's fine.
I don't even remember what she charged you for all of this.
I think we paid $15 for all of these.
So there's a Barney.
A vintage Barney.
Remember I Love You.
Barney.
Timothy.
Jiminy.
Yeah, I knew that.
Jiminy Cricket. He, in fact, let me show that. I think he is a vintage. Look at that, 1992.
And then, is that Nala?
Probably. Nala.
And I can't remember what her name is.
Who is that? Is that like a pirate?
Yeah.
Jake and the Neverland Pirates?
It could be. I can't remember.
Don't know.
Goofy.
There might be another. I don't know. Can't see. Ooh.
A Papa Smurf.
He's looking pretty haggard.
Dirty.
He's haggard and dirty. We're gonna have to wash him in a Stitch.
Yes, a Stitch. And I thought this little Tigger was cool. And a Muppet.
A Muppet.
And Piglet.
Piglet. All right, so not bad. $15 for all the plush. Some vintage, not sure about the other ones, but big haul this weekend, $128 spent. So watch for some of this stuff on the upcoming What Sold videos. All right, take care, guys. Bye. We have a ton of sales to get through, so let's go through the stuff that is sold out of our eBay store. Kicking off the list, we have this Disney 3D embossed Tinkerbell coffee mug, and it sold for $12.99 plus shipping. Following that, we had this new with tags Legendary Whitetails Women's XL Buffalo Plaid button-down shirt. This sold for a best offer of $22 plus shipping. Next up was a great sale. This was a vintage 2-piece Going to Grandma's Kids luggage set, and it featured a small suitcase and a rolling suitcase. And these together sold for $74.99 plus shipping. We picked these up at a garage sale, believe it or not, for under $1. Following that, we had this vintage 1991 Fleer Cincinnati Reds baseball card complete team set, sell for $2.84 plus shipping. Up next was this 3D embossed Girl Scout cookie coffee mug, and it sold for $8.25 on a best offer plus shipping. Following that was this metal Jack Daniel's keychain, which sold for $5.09 plus shipping. Up next was another mug. This time it was a Starbucks mug from 2015. It featured an evergreen Christmas tree, and it sold for $12.34 plus shipping. Then we had another bottle of this Victoria's Secret body mist head out. This was the Enchanted Apple scent, and it sold for $33.24 plus shipping. Up next was this new in-box chess and checkers game, which sold for $8.99 plus shipping. And then after that was this Hot Wheels radar gun. Picked this up at one of the sales along the Antique Alley a few weekends back, and I think I paid about $0.25 for it, and it ended up selling for $34.99 plus shipping. Up next was an estate sale find. This was a pair of Timberland men's Gore-Tex waterproof hiking boots, and these sold for $29.99 plus shipping. Up next was a consignment sale for my daughter Deidre. This was a pair of Victoria's Secret Dusty Periwinkle fleece jogger pants with foil script logo. These sold for $18.99 plus shipping. And viewers of the channel may have remembered the Disney Vampirina playset that we had sold a number of videos back. Well, as I was going through all of the different pieces in there, we actually had a replacement staircase. And so that was listed separately, and it sold. And as you can see here, it was the Vampirina Scare B&B replacement stairs, and they sold for $12.99 plus shipping. And yet another mug went out the door. This time it was a 2015 red and yellow M&M's mug, and this sold for $6 plus shipping. The mugs that are heading out for the cheaper prices are ones that have been listed in the store for a while. They're the ones that I'm relisting, during my relisting challenge or my fall listing challenge, and they're just getting reduced so that they can head out the door. And speaking of relisting old items, this was definitely one of our oldest items. This was a men's Marvel Avengers Assemble Iron Man Face Distressed Design t-shirt, size extra large, and it sold for a whopping $4.99 plus shipping. But it went out the door, so I'm thrilled about that. Following that was this Nike Golf men's light orange embroidered hook and loop adjustable strap hat, which sold for $11.49 plus shipping. Up next was this anime DVD. This was Attack on Titan Part 2, episodes 14 through 25, and it sold for $29.99 plus shipping. Following that was this pair of Victoria's Secret Sweetheart leggings workout pants. These actually had a hole in them, which I disclosed, and so I ended up listing them for fairly cheap, and they sold for $6.99 plus shipping. And following that was this yellow Beanie Baby. This was Trady the bear, and he sold for $8.99 free ship. After that was this Torrid women's dark teal crochet inset ornate short sleeve shirt, which sold for $17.09 plus shipping. Following that was this vintage new old stock white button-down shirt. It was a men's shirt, and it sold for $15.99 plus shipping. And after that shirt went out, another one as well went out the door. This one was a rock and roll cowboy, men's size double XL, brown plaid shirt, and it sold for $21.84 plus shipping. Next up was this nice Jane Seymour St. Catherine's Court musical egg display piece. This sold for $23.74 plus shipping. Then the best sale of this time period by far was this. This was a pair of Skechers, a vintage pair of Skechers. These were the Jammers Rampage model, black leather chunky platform shoes, which sold for a whopping $149.99 plus shipping. After that was this pair of Democracy pants. These were women's size 18W, ankle skimmer indigo jeans, which sold for $24.99 plus shipping. And the last eBay sale of this time period was this cool set of 4 acrylic Super Mario Brothers coasters, which sold for $19.99 free shipping. And let's quickly run through the 4 items that we sold from our Poshmark closet. The first was this Looney Tunes pink Tweety Bird t-shirt, which sold for $9. Then we had a pair of these pink Crocs head-out, or these were the springy pink ballet flats, which sold for $20. Then these Universal Threads women's size 11 brown Danica boots also sold for $18. And then finally this pair of UGG Australia women's size 9 Dakota Black suede slippers sold for $33. And the last set of items that we'll talk about today are some items that have sold from Mercari. Some of these are the oldest items that were in our eBay store that we've relisted. I've cross-listed over to Mercari and I've dropped the price. They've been selling for fairly cheap, and we're getting them out the door. So kicking off the Mercari list, this lot of 9 PlayStation 3 games, which ended up selling for $12. Following that was this set of Meet the Phonics Letter Blends books, which sold for $15. After that was one of our Wilton cake pans. This one was a Donald Duck shape, and it sold for $6. Following that was this Modern Gourmet Dear Santa tea set, which also sold for $6. And then this lot of 7 nonfiction Who Was educational homeschooling book set, which sold for $18. Next up, we had another old item sell. This was a set of 2 vintage Betty Boop tin metal signs, and these ended up selling for $12. And the last sale of this time period, and the last sale of this video, was this Stampin' Up! Triangle paper punch, and it sold for $17. So the last 2 segments of this video are going to be achievements and fails. So good news and bad news. So let's start off with some good news. So as an achievement, this channel has now reached 100 subscribers, and I think we've even inched past that at this point. So first of all, I want to say thank you for everyone's support and everyone who has commented along the way. It really does mean a lot to see that this channel has grown so much over the last number of months. So to celebrate that achievement, we are going to be doing a small giveaway. Now, I don't know exactly what that's going to be just yet. It's more than likely going to be either a $50 or a $100 gift card to Amazon. It's certainly not going to be flashy, it's not going to be super expensive, but it's something just to say thank you for everyone's support. So in order to win, all you have to do is 1, be a subscriber to the channel, you have to like this video, and you have to comment below. And so the keyword that I want you to use is the number 100, and you can use it in any way that you want to. And we'll be doing a random YouTube comment picker, and we'll be putting that on a following episode. So remember, please like this video, subscribe, comment below with the number 100, and you'll be entered to win. So now the final portion of this video is going to be about a fail that recently took place. So I think it's important to not only talk about the positive things that our business is doing, but also to talk about the negative things. And I don't mean negative in a way that it has negatively affected our business. Everything is a learning process. So if I can experience something that prevents you guys from going through the same thing, then I'm willing to do that. So let me paint the picture here. About a year ago, I went to a garage sale and I was trying to make a bulk deal on some scrapbook items like those punches and some of the rubber stamps. And the person there was selling this lot of vintage Avon perfume bottles. Now, I've talked a lot about dangerous goods or flammable goods in the sense that you can only ship them ground. And while I knew that they were going to take some time to sell, I thought that maybe I could lot them up together in a giant lot, ship them all via ground transport, and be done with it. So I began the painstaking process of photographing all of the bottles because I thought possibly if I had changed my mind by lotting them up, at least I could sell them one by one. As I began to do more research on them, I found that they weren't going to be really cost effective to sell them on an individual basis. So I made the decision to lot them up into one giant lot. So I put them up on our eBay store where they sat for about a year. I had gotten some lowball offers along the way, but not wanting to risk my initial investment and all the work that I had put in, I was holding out for a higher price. So quite recently, I had gotten another offer and I went back and forth, and this person really seemed to want them. But the offer that she had put in was pretty low, so I ended up declining it. But a few days later, she put in a slightly higher offer. So I went back and forth with her again, and we settled on a price that I thought was fair. Of course, it wasn't what I wanted, but I think in the end, I would have made some money on them. And so before I get too far into the story, let me show you all of the work that went into packing them.
Hey guys, I was doing my packing today and I just wanted to walk you through this process that I have, because sometimes you think when you buy stuff that it might be easy in the end to ship it, and when you actually sell it and get into the process of shipping it, you find that, well, maybe it was not such a good idea after all. But I'll let you be the judge and I'll explain the situation. So at a garage sale last year, I picked up a number of these vintage Avon bottles, and they're all in really, really good condition. Most of them have, well, all of them ones that have the boxes have the bottle of perfume inside. So as you can see, they're very artwork intensive. They're very nice. Let me see if I can open one up one-handed here. Most of them come in parts. Some of them have decorative pieces associated with them. Here is it's not, well, yes, this one is glass. Yep, this one is glass, but it has like a plastic top. So some of them are full of perfume, the original perfume. Others are empty. But yeah, so I have like 27 of these boxes of all shapes and sizes. Put them in a big lot. I thought to myself, well, I'll just put them in a big lot. They'll sell, I'll pack them up. Super easy. Well, it took about a year, and I finally got an offer, and after going back and forth, I accepted a little bit lower offer because I was just ready to get these out of here. So here's my challenge. Not only do I have to pack each of these in its own box, but what I've been doing, as you can see, I have some of them done here. I've been taking the bottle, I've been making sure that once it's in the box, I add some packing paper into the box so that there's no movement with the actual bottle inside the box. After I close up the box, I will then take one of these, which is a plastic bag. These are my 10 by 13 plastic bags that I mainly use for clothing, but I also put like plushies or whatever that I sell. And I'm going to put the box in the bag and tape it all up. So this will prevent the box from leaking into the other open areas of the box, or the finally packed box, should something happen to this. Once that is in the cellophane bag, I then take bubble wrap and I will bubble wrap and tape every box. So then also, or when I get done with all of these, I'm going to have a number of these individually wrapped packages that'll then have to fit into some other larger box. So it's been quite a process so far. It's taken quite a bit longer than I had originally planned, but that is okay. Sometimes you just got to make it work. So let me walk you through the rest of the process when I get to there, and I'll maybe key in on a few key points along the way. So here's an example of one of the boxes that I have so far. I have all this packing paper in here to reduce the movement. So you see there's a head that usually goes on the bottle. And so I've packed all the paper in there to prevent any movement from any of the pieces inside. So seal it up, and then it moves on to the next step. So here's the next step, which is completed. So you can see that I've wrapped up the entire box inside of one of those plastic bags. I've also taken care of to show you which direction is up, because when I'm packing the final box, I don't necessarily want to put any of the boxes upside down to encourage a possible leak. So I've just drawn a little arrow just so that I know when I'm packing the boxes which direction is up to hopefully mitigate any sort of leakage. But this one isn't done, so let me show you the next step. And this is pretty much the final one for this particular box. So as you can see, I have wrapped it up in bubble wrap. I do have the arrow, and it goes along the other ones. And as you can see, I'm not much further than I was before, so back to the grind. Hey guys, check this one out. We just got done watching the movie It a couple of days ago, and this was included in this one. Freaky!
3 hours later.
All right, after a long time, it seems, I got all of the boxes packed, or at least initially wrapped. They're all sealed in a bag, wrapped and taped. The only ones that I have left are these individual ones. So these were ones that didn't actually come in a box first. So I'll just more than likely bubble wrap all around these. I'll bubble wrap all around these. I might put these into a smaller box just to be sure. I don't know yet. I have to figure that out. But then the next trick, the next challenge, will be to get a box big enough that all these will fit in, and I'll have some space around it to do some extra padding. So wish me luck, and I will continue the journey. So here's my first attempt at finding a box that'll work for all these. And while I was able to fit all of them in here, and I have a couple of different layers of these boxes, or of the padded bottles in here, I'm not entirely sure that this box is going to work. What I might have to do is take them all out, but noting which ones I have on the upper layer and which ones I have at the bottom layer, and then start to literally pack everything in there one by one with padding in between everything. And then as I get to that first layer, try to put a layer of padding between them, and then try to get this upper layer as well. And when I'm done, put packing paper all around the edges here. So I don't know if this box is going to work. It seems like it will. But I usually like to have a little bit extra space between the actual contents and the walls. So I'm going to go out to the garage and find another one that might work. And if it doesn't, then we'll try this one and we'll see what happens. Okay, here's a quick update. This was the original box that I was using. I went out to the garage and I found this one. This one I think is going to actually be too big. There is such a thing as too big. Not only would the dimensions far exceed what I had charged for shipping, but there is such a thing as just being too big. There's going to be too much free space, too much opportunity for these things to shift and move around. The height is a little bit too tall, I think. So I went out to the garage yet again, and I found this box. It's a slightly larger box than this one. It's kind of hard to tell. But already I've got the bottom layer in here, and they seem to fit a little bit better. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's a little bit of space around all of them. So what that will allow me to do is get the packing paper out and really start jamming that in there and kind of compressing all these in to making them more like a single object rather than, multiple objects all together. So I think this box will work. It's probably still going to be exceeding the dimensions that I had originally quoted. But I wasn't really taking into consideration all this extra packing and whatnot. So, I've never done something like this before. So it's a live and learn kind of thing. So, but I think this box will work, and I'll start with the paper pack and I'll show you the next step. Before I show you the next step, just to disclose, I actually have a couple of layers of the packing paper underneath, and then a couple of layers of the big bubble wrap as well. So that kind of acts as the bed, and I have these on top. And so let me go ahead and now pack with the paper. All right, as you can see, I have all the packing paper around the outside perimeter. So I've basically just jammed a bunch of paper as I could, or as much paper as I could. And these still have a little bit of movement, but I don't think it's going to be so much that, well, this one I might have to redo a little bit. You can see how that one, there's a slight amount of movement. I might just put some packing paper in there, maybe on this outside edge. But my goal is to get them to be as immobile as possible before I start with the rest of these. These are all the ones that I have left to put in there. And then I will insulate and pack as necessary. So wish me luck as I continue. Okay, so I got this second layer in here. There were a few that I couldn't stand upright. So this one here and this one over here. They are angled in such a way so that the liquid is basically on this edge. So hopefully that will mitigate any spills if there are any, but I don't think that there will be. But this is pretty much everything packed into the second layer. This is the other one, like I said, that's kind of tilted. But I'm going to then put paper around here. I should be able to layer it on top with some more bubble wrap and another layer of paper on the very top. Seal up the box, and that will be it. So I think it's very successful.
I didn't end up filming a closing segment for when I packed up all those bottles. By the time that I was done, I was running late and I had to go to the post office to drop off some other packages before they closed. So my assumption is that I was just going to be sending these UPS ground to their final destination. And something in the back of my mind said, you know, before you print out that label, just double check to make sure that you can send these through UPS. Now I know that I've sent flammable liquids through the USPS or the post office before. You just have to send it via Parcel Select Ground. My heart sank and I got a knot in my stomach when I realized that I couldn't ship the bottles through UPS Ground. You can send this type of thing through UPS, but you have to be registered through them. And there's some extra paperwork that needs to be done. So when I realized that, I had no choice but to then go through the USPS as an option. So the problem with that was because this box was so huge, I was not only going to be charged a dimensional shipping rate, but also some extra surcharges on top of that because of the size of the package. So what ended up being a profitable sale was now going to lose money because of the shipping cost. So that box alone cost me nearly double what the buyer had paid. It cost me almost $100 to ship that box. So I did all the math and I went through my initial buy cost and all the fees involved in selling on eBay. And really in the end, I only lost about $30 on the deal, which it could have been way worse, believe me. And I was dreading that it wasn't, but this kind of brings up a kind of a moral question. Now, it could have been really easy for me to just click on that UPS label and print it for a $30 charge. Slap it on the box, drop it off at UPS and say, hey, you know what, it's your deal, now you deal with it. But something in the back of my mind just told me, look, if I'm making this video, right, and I am showing you that I'm skirting the rules, you know, that's not the kind of business that I want to portray. But if I can learn from this mistake and then explain what I did so that you guys don't have to go through that same thing, then I guess it's worth it in the end. The lesson, of course, that I learned was that, yes, you can still send perfume bottles if you're doing it individually. They can still be sent Parcel Select Ground. But lotting those types of things up into one giant box isn't cost effective to send through the post office. So definitely lesson learned. I'll know that when I'm searching garage sales and I see these types of items, I'm just gonna look the other way and pretend that I never saw them in the first place. So at this point, I think I'm gonna wrap up the video here. Thanks again for watching, and especially watching all the way to the end. Remember that we do have that 100 subscriber giveaway. So remember to like, subscribe, comment below with the number 100 to be entered. And we'll of course go through the winner on one of the next videos. And again, thanks so much for everyone's support. It really does mean a lot. That's not just lip service. Seeing those numbers, interacting with everyone, it has really been fun. It has been a blast thus far. It's been a lot of work, but I hope that you guys continue to enjoy the channel. So with that, I appreciate all the support, and we will catch you on the next one.